Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol, that was a bit loud.
Yeah, it's on my keyboard.
No?
I've
You cut me off. I was having conversation with Jai Prakash and then I got cut off.
Yeah, it was on purpose. I did that, by the way.
Is what?
I did it on purpose.
That wasn't very nice.
Sadly, I was trying to get into the meeting and I had to cut off. I had to cut off the meeting to get in. I don't know why. It's never been like that before.
No,
So please excuse me for that.
I should think I might be able to.
Just about. That was my new keyboard there, the one that I bought this year. I got it in January. And then the devotee from Manchester was in Mumbai. He brought the SD card, the little SIM card. He brought that. And then I've just recently activated the SIM card, and that's a madanga on this on the keyboard. It's the first time I've actually heard a madanga with a madanga tal.
Sounded good, Prabhu.
Huh?
Sounded very good.
Yeah. It's the first time I've never seen a madanga on a keyboard in my life. I've seen tablas and the Punjabi Bhangra drums, but I've never heard a Bengali call with Bengali call rhythms and tals. And bowls, they call them bowls, different types of ways you have again, whoop, ding, ding, dong, whoop. So I was really surprised when I saw that they've got it on this keyboard as Bengal folk drum. So, but factually speaking, it's a madanga. And of course, China Ravinda is very adept at playing the dolak and dol. He's got very good rhythms. And when China Ravinda's in the height of the kirtan, he forgets how he's playing, and it's playing on its own.
Wow.
Yeah, he was explaining to me that when he gets into it, the drum starts playing itself, more or less. Isn't that right?
It does, yes. They go into ecstasy.
And he pulls out a hell of a lot of jais. I've never heard so many jais sung in a kirtan in my life.
Yes, jai, 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 jai.
So Prabhupada should have called you Jai Charanavinda. Or Charanavinda Jai Jai.
Yeah. The jai tone lends itself to being manipulated, but I don't manipulate the holy names.
No.
I can manipulate jai.
Yeah, jai is okay. Jai is all right. So let's start the kirtan then. We'll start with Smita. Smita's here. The princess of Chesham. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
The Rani Kumar of Chesham Bois. The Rani Kumar of Chesham Bois.
Oh, I don't know about that. I was trying to look at a baby blanket, how to crochet a baby blanket in the color pink.
Very nice. That's a very nice idea for my granddaughter, no doubt.
Oh, yes.
Vedangshi Chandra Sharma. I have a granddaughter with a surname Sharma. So let's start the kirtan then. Let's go with Jai, and then we'll go to Chana Ravinda, then Smita, then myself.
Krishna, 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 hey.
Rama Bhagava, Rama Bhagava Rakshaman.
Oh, that's the fourth. That's the fifth one. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hey, Smita.
Krish, do you want me to repeat that or go to the next words?
We should
Third
know.
line.
We should all know this. Kirtan. Lord Chaitanya sang this.
Third
Yeah,
line.
my question is, do you want me to repeat what you sang or go to the next verse?
The next part. Absolutely.
Oh,
Your
okay,
part.
sorry.
Your part.
Okay. Krishna, 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 Keshava Pahi Mam.
No.
Oh dear me. You're out there as well somewhere. You've just.
Is it
Third line.
Keshava? Okay, I'm sorry.
It
I
doesn't
Third
matter.
haven't
line.
joined from the
Rakshamam.
beginning for a long
Let's
time.
learn. Let's learn this. Let's learn this because, you know, we should know this. This should be like the Hare Krishna mantra. We should know it. Oh look, Namrata Nikunj Bai here. Now we're in trouble. Now we're in trouble. Look out! The Cambridge gang is here.
The Cambridge gang, yes.
Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hey, Jai.
Krishna, 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 hey.
Then Namrata.
Krishna, 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 Rakshamam.
Nikunj Bai.
Krishna, 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 Pahimam.
Now Charnaravinda.
Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam.
Peter, now you can do your one.
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam.
Hooray! We all did it. I fitted you in the right places. So remember, Krishna Keshav is the last line. And it goes like Krishna, 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 etc. And then that goes for 4 lines. One with Hey, another with Hey, another with Rakshamam, and another with Pahimam. And then Rama Raghava Rakshamam, then Krishna Keshava Pahimam. Okay, very nice. Okay, let's start the reading now on the Shamantaka jewel.
I don't have access to it at the moment.
Oh, I see. You don't have access.
My computer switched everything off the other day.
Well-
And I lost everything.
Well, just listen in, relax,
I will.
and relax. Have an ice cream.
Yeah, I meant to get some today. I forgot.
Have some strawberries and cream and relax. Strawberries and cream prashadam. Okay, Jai, go ahead.
Okay. Lord Krishna was satisfied by the praise and statements of Jamvan, and to mitigate Jamvan's pain, he began to lightly rub the lotus palm of his hand all over Jamvan's body. Thus, Jamvan at once felt relieved from the fatigue of the great fight. Lord Krishna then addressed him as King Jamvan because he and not the lion was actually the king of the forest. Having killed the lion with his bare hands without a weapon, Krishna informed Jamvan that he had come to ask for the Samantaka jewel. Because ever since it had been stolen, his name had been defamed by the less intelligent. Krishna plainly informed him that he had come there to ask for the jewel in order to be free from the defamation. Jamvan understood the whole situation, and to satisfy the Lord, he immediately delivered not only the Shamantaka jewel, but also his daughter Jamvanti, who was of marriageable age, and presented her to Lord Krishna.
Okay, let's go with Smita. Do you know where we are, Smita?
Yes, I do.
Please go ahead.
The episode of Jamabhavati's marriage with Lord Krishna and the delivery of the jewel known as Shamantaka was finished within the mountain cave. Although the fighting between Krishna and Jambavan went on for 28 days, the inhabitants of Dwarka waited outside the tunnel for 12 days. And after that, they decided that something undesirable must have happened. They could not understand for certain what had actually happened, and being very sorry and tired, they returned to the city of Dwarka.
Okay, so even the people that Krishna had traveled with, they thought, oh, maybe Krishna has been killed. Maybe something bad has happened to Krishna. So even they were so close to Krishna, they couldn't even understand that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. That's often the case when you're very close to someone. You don't see how great they are. They say that a prophet or a saint is never known in his own family or his own village because we're too familiar. Like Prabhupada's children, they couldn't understand that Prabhupada was a great saint. They saw him as their dad. Bapu, Bap. Oh, this is just my Bap, my father. He can't be anything really great. He has so many faults, you see. So in this way, they thought Krishna had died. Okay, let's go to Namrata for the next part.
All the members of the family, namely Krishna's mother Devaki, his father Vasudeva, and his chief wife Rukmini, along with all other friends, relatives, and residents of the palace, were very sorry when the citizens returned home without Krishna. Because of their natural affection for Krishna, they began to call Satyajit ill names, for he was the cause of Krishna's disappearance. They went to worship the goddess Chandrabhaga, praying for the return of Krishna. The goddess was satisfied by the prayers of the citizens of Dwarka, and she immediately offered them her benediction. Simultaneously, Krishna appeared on the scene accompanied by his new wife Jambati, and all the inhabitants of Dwarka and relatives of Krishna became joyful. The inhabitants The inhabitants of Dwarka were as joyful as someone receiving a dear relative back from the dead. They had concluded that Krishna had been put into great difficulties due to fighting. Therefore, they had become almost hopeless of his return. But when they saw that Krishna had actually returned, not alone with a new wife, Jambati, they immediately performed a ceremony of celebration.
Okay, go ahead, Bhai.
King Ugrasena then called for a meeting of all important kings and chiefs. He also invited Satyajit, and before the whole assembly, Krishna explained the incident of the recovery of the jewel from Jambavan. Krishna wanted to return the valuable jewel to the king Satyajit. Satyajit, however, was ashamed because he had unnecessarily defamed Krishna. He accepted the jewel in his hand, but he remained silent, bending his head downwards and without saying anything in the assembly of kings and chiefs. He returned home with the jewel. Then he thought about how he could clear himself of all abominable act he had performed by defaming Krishna. He was conscious that he had offended Krishna very grievously and that he had to find remedial measures so that Krishna would again be pleased with him.
Okay, Archana, let's welcome Archana. Here she is, the Bakri Queen of Hackney.
Hare Krishna.
Hi.
Okay, so King Satyajit was eager to get relief from the anxiety he had foolishly created due to being attracted by material things, specifically the Shamantaka's robe. Truly affected by the offense he had committed against Krishna, he sincerely wanted to rectify it. From within, Krishna gave him good intelligence, and Satyajit decided to hand over to Krishna both the jewel and his daughter, Satyabhama. There was no alternative for mitigating the situation, and therefore they arranged the marriage ceremony of Krishna and his daughter. He gave in charity both the Jew and his daughter to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Satyabhama was so beautiful and qualified that Satyajit, in spite of being asked for her hand by many princes, was waiting to find a suitable son-in-law. By the grace of Krishna, he decided to hand his daughter over to him.
Very nice. That's lovely. So it's turning out to be a happy ending to the story, at least. And Krishna's name is being cleared now. So sometimes we are also accused. Rumors are spread about ourselves in different ways. Some of them are true. Some things are true. We can never see ourselves as others see us. We can never, because we're always very partial to ourselves. Would you say that you're partial to yourself, Namrata?
Yeah.
Slightly,
Lightly, yeah.
slightly partial to you. Narchana Ben? Slightly?
Yeah, slightly, I would say.
Nikunjbai?
Yes.
Slightly or greatly?
No, slightly.
Okay, you're lucky. Now, Jai Prakash, how would you say you're partial to yourself?
Slightly, I think.
Oh, slightly as well. Okay. Acharya Ravinder Prabhu. What's that supposed to mean?
That means probably yes.
I would say I'm extremely partial to myself. Extremely. Because we're seeing through these eyes, we're experiencing. When we hear knowledge, we filter it through our own intelligence system. So, in spite of myself, in spite of even knowing so many great things, I still will see things in view of my own opinions. Would you say you have? Do you have an opinion, Namrata Ben?
Yes.
Nikunjbai, does your wife have an opinion?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you say greatly or small, slightly?
I can't find the right word to use, but
Well,
no,
because you
somewhere in the middle.
Oh, all right, all right. So she's a medium partial person. Okay. How about Nikunjbai, Namrata? What would you say? He is a opinionated person?
No, he's actually very, I would say slightly,
Oh,
not too
okay.
much, not too
Well,
much.
there's a good wife for you. Oh, that's good. You'll be going down the jewelry shop now on the weekend now. Nice pair of earrings for her. Jai Prakash, how about your wife? Would you say she's opinionated or just
Yes.
yes? Yes.
She's not here, so I can say anything.
Very strong. There's nothing wrong with being strongly
No,
opinionated. Well, you know, we're in the Bhagavad Gita. I think it's chapter 4, text 26. Krishna says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtat karma krit. Who can find that verse for me? Who can help me out? Who can find that verse in the Bhagavad Gita? I'm speculating, by the way, that it's 426. It could well be another one. Let me have a look myself.
Can you tell me the shlok again?
It is Nahi kaschit kshanam Nahi kaschit kshanam api
Oh, chapter 3, verse 5.
3:5. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Yes. Nahi kaschit kaschanam api jatu tishtaya akrama krit karyate hai avashah karma sarva prakritir jair gunaha
Gunai.
gunahi.
Gunaihi.
Gunahi. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment.
Yeah, so we're born. Prakriti Jair Gunai means that the qualities that we're born with, the Jair, they are enforced upon us by the potency of the parents. They say like father, like son, like mother, like daughter, etc. So this verse here, 3:5, Krishna's explaining that everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the modes of nature they're born with. Helplessly. Some people are very opinionated. They have very strong opinions. Even some people, they're wrong. Their argument is false, but they'll never give it up. They'll always find a way to proving that they're right. This comes from a deep sense of insecurity.
The ego.
Psychologically. This when one has to win the argument, no matter what, by any foul means, by even using the other person's arguments or explanation, the other person will sincerely explain their position, and the person who is very strongly opinionated will use their words against them, even though they're trying to explain themselves sincerely. Who has experienced this in their life? Yes, Chanaravinda Prabhu? Yes, Nikunj Bhai, you've experienced it as well? Don't tell me it's Namrata now. Oh, she's getting the frying pan.
Sorry, no, not Namrata, but I have experienced something like this.
What's that Rotary pin in her hand?
No, it was my hand. I was thinking it's mute. So
Archana?
Yes, I was just thinking about how we can make way forward.
Yes.
When someone like that is not my husband, it's not my children. But when you say these insecurities, does make sense that
people who are
feel
very
insecure.
insecure, they have to win their argument, you see.
Yeah.
Because they have nowhere else to go. They have nothing to fall back on, because they themselves are very shallow. What about Smita? Have you experienced this, Smita?
Yeah, I have. I just shut up and switch off. I just switch off.
Just switch off. I've experienced it from my own family. So it's people's nature, you see. They're born like that. They have a certain nature. I tell you who are good at this: lawyers, solicitors in court. Now, a solicitor in the court, they will use every bit of evidence, every word, and turn it on the poor innocent victim, the person standing in the dock. They may be innocent, but the prosecutor will use every word they say, even they are explaining very nicely their situation. They use that to again drive the knife into the heart. This is a typical solicitor or lawyer. Prabhupada said lawyer means liar. Prabhupada said lawyer means liar because
no, I don't agree.
No,
I'm a lawyer myself.
No, don't make it personal now. But Prabhupada said lawyer means because in order to establish your case, okay, in order to establish your case, one has to use all kinds of means to do that. They even made one movie about a lawyer who was very expert at twisting the truth, and they called it Liar Liar, with Jim Carrey, a Canadian actor who was a bit wacky, but he does believe in reincarnation. He has got a spiritual side to him. Maybe the devotees have met him. and given him some books of Prabhupada. I know a lot of devotees in LA airport have met many of these stars, many of the movie stars, and given them books. Once a devotee told me, I'm just deviating for a moment, just to give you a little bit of samachar. So he met a very famous actor. He told me the story himself. The actor's name, he's passed away now. His name was Kirk Douglas, who was a very famous 1950s, 60s, 70s actor. Big name. His son is Michael Douglas. And he has a few sons who are actors. So Kirk Douglas, he was at the airport, and the devotees were chanting, and they were not at the airport, sorry, it was somewhere else, because at the airport they wearing our English clothing and giving books. So they were chanting somewhere, and one devotee said, "Oh, Mr. Douglas." He didn't say Kirk. He said, "Mr. Douglas, does anyone know what Kirk means?" It's a Scottish name. Kirk.
Captain Kirk.
To go where beyond where any man has gone, boldly go. No, Kirk means church. For your information, Kirk means church.
True.
I'm going to the kirk. I'm going to the kirk on Sunday. In Scotland, they say like that. So he said, "Mr. Douglas, please take this leaflet and give a donation," or something he said to him. And Kirk Douglas turned round as if he was in a movie, and he said, "I wouldn't give you guys a nickel." A nickel is five cents. So he said, or 10 cents. He said, "I wouldn't give you guys a nickel," he said. So some of them weren't very favorable. But this is the position anyway. Nahi kashit kshanamapi jadutistati karmakrit karyate hyavasha karma sarva prakriti jair gunaihi. The last word is a visarga at the end, gunaihi. So this is, we're all forced to act, therefore sometimes we act sinfully. Sometimes we are practicing a pure lifestyle. And then other time we're overcome with lust, or with, we steal something, we do something wrong, and we act sinfully. And we think, "Oh, what came over me? Why? What happened?" These are the modes that we're born with, and at times we act. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, for his devotees, knowing this, that sometimes we will be overcome by the modes of nature, mode of tamas or rajas, at different months of the year and times. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 30, who can find chapter 9, text 30, where Krishna is explaining how one can deal with fall downs and sinful, when we act sinfully in our life.
It's api.
Oh, go on. What? Now I'm just quick.
Api chetsu duracharo bhajate mam anyaya bhak sadur eva sa mantavya samayagya vyavasito hi saha. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
Yes, the word sadureva in that shloka, sadureva, means that he is, even if he does the greatest sins, if he remains my bhakta and does penance, I've had to do penance for my sins at times. I'm not sinless. I don't never claim to be sinless or a saint or any as they say, goody two shoes. I've had to do penances at different times and undergo prayaschit, and that is why we practice the Ekadashi as well, because Ekadashi, when we practice it properly, either fast completely, drink water, or just eat farah prasad. No, and namak, Ekadashi namak. We have a special in our kitchen. We have 2 spice tins. One is for general cooking, and then we have another drawer, a spice tin, only farah, only Ekadashi. Who has something like that in their home?
Kind of, little bit like
Okay. I would like you now on the weekend, if you're near, East Park Road, Green Lane, or, somewhere where there's, of course, you're in Cambridge, it'd be difficult for you. But for Archana, definitely. Smita, do you have such a thing?
Well, the spices I only use is the 90% of the time is sindalu, the other salt,
Okay.
black pepper,
Okay.
and jeera powder. That's it.
Right. So what in order to do things nicely for Krishna, we're not dealing with any Tom, Dick, or Harry Krishna. We're not dealing with anyone ordinary. We're dealing with God. So when it comes to this, we should have a special tin and have spices in there only for Ekadashi, and we put that in a different drawer or a different shelf. And that then when Ekadashi comes, there's no cross contamination. You see, when I cook on Ekadashi, or when my wife is cooking, we are confident that the salt is namak, it's Ekadashi farah namak, the spices in there, which are we'll use kali mirch and
like hing.
yeah, we don't use hing on Ekadashi. No hing. No hing on Ekadashi, Prabhu. It's hing as mixed with with grains, you see. No turmeric. So in our one, we have 5, I think 5 or 6. It's a small one. And we have only Ekadashi.
No turmeric, why?
Because turmeric has got. Can you explain to him, Smita, why turmeric, we don't use it?
I actually don't know. My mom used to do ekadasi and brought me up not to use turmeric or
Archana,
dhanadira.
Archana, please explain to him.
No, I don't know actually, but I know that we can't use it.
Right. If you have turmeric root, you can use that. If you have turmeric powder, to stop it from caking, from drying up or getting very squashy, they have to mix it with some grains. Okay, so there's a process. Now with cumin, that's pure. Cumin is pure, but turmeric, because it's a root, it starts to cake. You see, it starts to go join together. So it has to be mixed with something else. So it's not suitable for Ekadashi. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, I made mistakes for years having turmeric milk, haldi doodh. They call it haldi doodh. At night on Ekadashi without knowing, you see. And I did that for some years, but then I found out, oh my God, turmeric, it's got grains mixed in. Same with hing. It's got grain mixed in with it. But if you have the pure hing from Vrindavan, who has seen the pure hing from India?
No. I know you can get pure hing. I haven't seen it.
Okay, who's seen
So
it?
I recently got one where there is a mill that they grind it in front of us, the whole hing, and they grind it in front of us. So I got small packet from India recently.
Okay, just a moment. Just a minute, Smita. Kavita, can you just No, I need you to help me. Just bring me the haldi from the kitchen there. Yes, the haldi from Vrindavan. Okay, so when we go to Vrindavan, especially when we were in Pune, we bought some very nice hing, sorry, the hing root. It's a root, hing, and we got some in Pune, and we also, when we go to Vrindavan, we buy lots of it and bring it back, and it lasted the last batch. We've bought it 2 years ago. Actually, 3 years ago. We still got some left. And I'll show it to you now. Is that all right, Smita?
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm sorry to take this off the point, but these things are very important for us to know. Like having a special tin with spices only for Ekadashi.
So, Prabhu, can I ask Dana, which is coriander powder,
That's okay.
and jeera powder?
Danya, you see, that will, though, just a moment. I know we use jeera, but Danya is I think Danya is not a grain. I don't think Danya is. I'll just check it
No,
because
yeah, the Srinathji Baba, that Sampradaya, they don't use like
one
Dana jeera and
completely.
stuff.
Pass it to me. Yeah, the Danya. Do we use Danya on Ekadashi?
I don't.
No, we don't. We don't use Danya. Now this is the container here.
Yeah.
This would be in here now. Unfortunately, it's gone.
Is that the box?
But the smell is exotic because it's pure hing. Now we just found out we're out. Look at that. We're just saying now it lasted us for 3 years and we're out of it. But you know what? Even this we don't use on Ekadashi. Because they told us in Vrindavan we're not supposed to. I'm sorry about that, but it's like little rocks inside. It looks like a little stone, but what we do, we put it on the rolling, the bread board or the cutting. What do they call it? The bread thing, the wooden.
Patlo.
Sorry.
Patlo. In
Patlo.
Gujarati,
We put
patlo.
it on the patlo, and then we put a piece of turmeric, like haldi, excuse me, hing, like that, and then I get a knife, and then I just press it down and flatten it out, and then I scrape it off into the pan, and that's how we deal with it. But when we go to Vrindavan next time, we'll show you some of that. But looks like Archon has already got some. You bought it in this country?
I didn't buy the blocks. I bought the blocks and asked them to grind it for me in their mills in front of us. So they did it.
Where was that?
Jamnagar. So they opened the mill in all different areas. This is just for spices. So they do all different spices. But only for hing.
So don't use Danya, but you can use Jeera. Okay. There are spices we use, but we have to be very careful about that. Okay, so that's Ekadashi, and Ekadashi is a great way to burn up sins. In fact, if we eat grains on Ekadashi, it's the sin, the Papurusha enters the grain, and we're eating 1,000 times more sin than normal. So eating grains on Ekadashi is very sinful. Mano Samhita says that eating grain on Ekadashi is equal to killing your own mother or killing cow. So it's considered eating grains on Ekadashi has the exact opposite of fasting. When you fast, you burn up mountain of sin. When you eat the grain, you are accumulating mountains of sin. So be careful and take advantage of Ekadashi. Okay, so let's go to the next part now. Let's ask Smita to say, Lord Krishna being pleased.
I'm just nearly there because I was looking at the other.
The last paragraph.
Yeah, just sorry, bear with me one moment. Lord Krishna, being pleased with Satyajit, informed him that he did not have any need of the Shamantaka jewel. It is better to let it remain in the temple as you have kept it, he said, and every one of us will derive benefit from the jewel. Because of the jewel's presence in the city of Dwarka, there will be no more famines or disturbances created by pestilence or excessive heat and cold. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 56th chapter of Krishna, the story of the Shamantaka jewel.
Okay, so we've ended the chapter. Now we'll go on to the next chapter, which indirectly shows us the results from offending Krishna. When we offend Krishna or offend a Vaishnava, there is often some kind of reaction. So on this point, we can understand that Krishna asked Satyajit at the beginning to offer the jewel to Ugrasena. Ugrasena was the king, the Maharaj. He was the father of Kamsa, Ugrasena. Or he was related to Krishna also. Vasudeva, Devaki's Devaki's father. And Kamsa had imprisoned Ugrasena as well, just like Aurangzeb had imprisoned his father Sahajan in the Red Fort in Agra. So when we look at that story, Krishna wanted him to offer that. He wouldn't do it. But here, he's offering it, and Krishna saying, no, it's okay. You can keep it now. So Krishna does this many times. He asks us to sacrifice something, and it's a test. It's called Pariksha. We all know this name, Pariksha. So in Bhakti, on the Bhakti Marg, there are many, many tests. And the way we make progress and we go up a step in any vocation, whether you're a liar. I'm sorry, I'm winding Namrata up now. I'm not a liar. So whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, you're a bhakta, whatever your vocation, you're a priest, etc., there has to be tests, examinations, where you are tested and then you study. You have to thoroughly understand the situation, thoroughly understand certain knowledge, and then that is tested in an examination, which is very stressful. We all know. And when it comes to being tested by God, they're very stressful tests. They're extremely stressful. When it comes to being tested by Bhagwan on the Bhakti Marg, it's the real deal. And it says that unless you're being tested, unless Krishna is testing you, testing your patience, testing your detachment, testing your understanding, testing your character, etc., then you cannot make progress in bhakti. So we should expect to be tested again and again and again on the path of devotion to Krishna. Let's go back to Jai Prakash now, and we'll start the next chapter.
Chapter 57, the killing of Satyajit and Satadhanva. Satadhanva.
That's right.
After a Krura visit Hastinapur and reported the condition of the Pandavas to Krishna, there were further developments. The Pandavas were transferred to a house which was made of lac and was later set ablaze, and everyone believed that the Pandavas, along with their mother Kunti, had been killed. This information was also sent to Lord Krishna and Balram. After consulting together, they decided to go to Hastinapur to show sympathy to their relatives. Krishna and Balram certainly knew that the Pandavas could not have been killed by the devastating fire. But in spite of this knowledge, they wanted to go to Hastinapur to take part in the bereavement. On arriving in Hastinapur, Krishna and Balram first went to see Bhishmadev because he was the chief of the Kuru dynasty. Then they saw Kripacharya, Vidura, Gandhari, and Drona. Other members of the Kuru dynasty were not sorry because they wanted the Pandavas and their mother to be killed. And some family members, headed by Bhishma, were actually very sorry for the incident. And Krishna and Balram expressed equal sorrow without disclosing the actual situation.
Okay, so this is aligning now what was going on in Dwarka simultaneously with what was going on in what we call the Mahabharata, or the history of Hastinapur. Hastinapur is the center piece, the center stage of the Mahabharata. If you go to Kurukshetra, who's visited Kurukshetra? Yes, Shai? Yes, Charnavinda Prabhu. So, Smita, have you visited Kurukshetra?
No, I haven't.
Oh, we'll have to take you there one day. We'll have to go on a tour of India, it looks like, soon. Who would like to go on a tour of India? I've been all over India myself, so I can take you any place in India. Only place I haven't been is Kashmir and Jammu. So,
We would like to go to Vrindavan with everybody.
oh, would you? Oh, I'm sure you would. Listen, just call Bakri Ben, you'll be in Vrindavan. She's only down the road, down the M11. So, so basically, this scenario here, it's showing us the history now, and what's going on where, and etc. And Krishna is pretending he knows very well that Vidura had been to Varnavat and spoken to Yudhishthir in Malecha Bhasha. He spoke to him in a Malecha Bhasha. It wasn't English. English is lower than Malecha. English is like a mixture of about 100 languages, so it's really low class. So he spoke to him in a different Malecha Bhasha or language and warned him indirectly that this house is made of lac and you be careful, it can burn, and here is a secret way out in case you have trouble. So that was Vidura, always considering their position. And then I've just been to, not been to one, but I just heard 2 days ago that a dear friend of mine, Dr. Satish Khanna, who was originally from Lucknow, he lived in Crawley. Oh, there we are. We've got a Crawley man here. So I used to visit him a lot in the 1980s and 90s and stay with him and his family. And he was a GP. And you know, we had some connection from previous life. It was some kind of connection we had, definitely. Met him in India. I won't tell you the circumstances, but they were extraordinary. How we met in India once, in the middle of CP. Who knows what CP is? Connaught Place. It's in Delhi. CP. It's a very big circular buildings, roundabout with buildings inside, you know, CP it's called. Anyway, he just passed away a few days ago at the age of 73 or 74. He passed away, and he introduced me to many great things of India. For example, the film Purab or Paschim, Sita or Gita, What other films? Mr. India, Ogambo, Kushua. So Satish Khanna, he introduced me to a lot of the cultural aspect of India through these movies to teach me how the Hindu people are, you know, how they're thinking, how they're living, what makes them tick, what their favorite things are. And he taught me a lot about India, and I visited his home in Lucknow once, and I had a lot of time with him. So he passed away. So let's all say a Hare Krishna mantra for. Let's welcome Alex. Hare Krishna, Alex.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, that was a good one. Thank you. Thanks, Alex. Well, let's say a Hare Krishna mantra for Satish for his onward journey to Lord Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Govindamadi Purusham Maham Bhajami.
Thank you. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yeah. So his funeral was yesterday. And anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. So let's welcome Alex. Hare Krishna, Alex. Are you talking or not? Probably not.
No, I can talk. I just sorry to be late. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Don't be sorry. It's okay. You just have to pay the money. You just have to pay for it, my friend.
Send me the details or I'll transfer.
I'll send you the bill in the post. Okay, let's go to
Forward to it. Bye.
Smita. Smita, go ahead with when Krishna and Balaram. Thanks, Smita.
When Krishna and Balaram were away from the city of Dwarka, there was a conspiracy to take the Shamantaka jewel away from Satrajit. The chief conspirator was Shatadhanva, who was among those who had wanted to marry Satyabhama, Satrajit's beautiful daughter. Satrajit had promised that he would give his beautiful daughter in charity to various candidates, but later the decision was changed and Satyabhama had given to Krishna was given to Krishna along with the Shamataka jewel. Satrajit had no desire to give the jewel away with his daughter, and Krishna, knowing his mentality, accepted his daughter but returned the jewel. After getting back the jewel from Krishna, he was satisfied and kept it with him always. But in the absence of Krishna and Balaram, there was a conspiracy by many men, including even Akrura and Krutva Varma, who were devotees of Lord Krishna, to take the jewel from Satrajit. Akrura and Krutva Varma joined the conspiracy because they wanted the jewel for Krishna. They knew that Krishna wanted the jewel and that Satrajit had not delivered it properly. Others joined the conspiracy because they were disappointed in not having the hand of Satyabhama. Some of them incited Shatandhanva to kill Satrajit and take away the jewel.
Okay, Alex, can you read the next part?
Yes, I just found it just in time.
The question is.
The question is generally raised: why did a great devotee like Akrura join this conspiracy, and why did Kirtavarma, although a devotee of the Lord, join the conspiracy also? The answer given by great authorities like Jiva Goswami is that although Akrura was a great devotee, he was cursed by the inhabitants of Vrindavan because of his taking Krishna away from their midst. Because of wounding their feelings, Akrura was forced to join the conspiracy declared by sinful men. Similarly, Kritavarma was a devotee, but because of his intimate association with Kamsa, he was contaminated by sinful reactions, and he also joined the conspiracy.
Okay, so this is a this is really, really important here, is that Akrura, he is famous in the Bhakti Marg for offering Krishna the best prayers. In fact, he is the perfection of Vandanam. When we look at the nav processes of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. And Archanam is there, Dasyam, Vishnu Smaranam, remembering, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam is the ninth. So the Vandanam, each one has one devotee is perfected that particular limb or anga of bhakti. So Hanumanji is the perfection of Dasyam. Shukadev Goswami is the perfection of Kirtanam. Lakshmi is the perfection of Padasevanam. Prahlad is the perfection of Vishnu Smaranam. And Akrura is the perfection of Vandanam. So this is all explained in the Shastras by the Goswamis. And what we have here is Akrura, because he had made some offense to the Bijbasis by taking Krishna away, even though it was part of the Leela, he was forced to act sinfully. So in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 3, text number 35. Who can find 335? Who's going to be quick to find 335? Oh, no, it isn't.
Sunday.
336. Excuse me.
Arjuna,
336.
do you want me to say?
Oh,
Arjuna,
Namata, what's going on here? Namata, she must be a lawyer or something.
Arjuna Uvacha Atha Kena Prayukta Yam Papam Charati Purushaha Anichanam Api
Varsneya.
Varsneya Balad Eva Niyojitaha. Arjuna said, O descendant of Rinchi, by what is one impelled to sinful acts even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?
Yes, Krishna, Arjuna's asking. And look at the beautiful street that Alex is showing us in jolly old Switzerland there.
No, I thought you might be able to hear the bells, the church bells.
But
That's why I put it on.
it doesn't look like Green Street in East Ham, that's for sure. So, but I must say, Cambridge is a beautiful city. So, if any English city can rival Switzerland, it would be Cambridge and Bath, two very beautiful cities. Very.
Who said that this was a competition?
No. But I'm just saying that the cities are very quaint there.
Yes.
Very beautiful. So I've been to Basel and I've been to Zurich, and I've paid I've paid to drive there as well. Oh, over here, look. There's a typical. Oh, look. That must be the local courthouse.
Yeah.
Look, there's Namrata's sister walking over there. She's another. So in this way, you see, atokeno prayukto yam prapam charati purushaha anityam api varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. Arjuna says this in the Gita 336. What's the translation there? Go on, Nikunjbai, you can read it. You read it.
A living entity as part and parcel of the
No. 336.
336.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duty.
336.
Yeah.
336.
Oh, 336. You have to read this. Ataha kena
Yes. What's the translation? Atat.
Arjuna said, "O descendant of Rishni, we
What
read
is-
this.
Yeah.
But what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?"
Yes, yes. I know Namrata just said it, but I wanted you to say it as well. So we
Okay.
hear it. We hear it again.
Okay. Arjuna said, "O descendant of Rishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?"
Yes, this is Akura's position now. I'm sure Akura didn't want to get involved in the murder of Satyajit, who is Krishna's father-in-law, for goodness sake. He's his Sastraji. So now, this is very serious. He's getting implicated here. But again, what is that power? There's a force that pushes us to engage in sinful acts. And that, Krishna says, is calm, is this lust and crowd. Calm and crowd, and they're born samudha. Samudha means like out of the ocean of what? Rajagun. So we cannot fight these modes of nature because nahi kashtik shanamapi. We are forced by our birth to engage in certain ways. We have all different natures. And, this is a fact. So now, at this point, Akrura and Kritavarma, because of bad association and because of making some offense to the Brijbasis, particularly the Gopis, who are the highest devotees of the Lord, he's going to be now contaminated by being involved in a conspiracy to murder. So at that point, we should stop. On the interesting, very exciting part now, the conspiracy. It sounds like something going on in the court in Namarata's job here. Conspiracy to murder. What type of lawyer are you then, Namarata?
Actually, I was a litigator, civil litigation. I practiced in civil litigation.
Civil litigation, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
but when I was in India, I practiced in Mumbai High Court. But after my marriage, I'm not practicing.
Oh, you're not practicing?
No,
Oh, no.
I moved here. I'm working as a teaching assistant.
Oh, okay. So you've given it a. Well, we won't call you a liar. I mean, a lawyer anymore then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Jai.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We got Lake.
Oh,
Lake
wow.
here. Jamuna Maiki.
Jai.
Hey.
Maiki.
Jai.
Saraswati Maiki.
Jai.
Shri Jagannath Puri Dhama ki.
Jai.
Hey.
Yes, ki jai.
Gangotri ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for taking us on that lovely tour. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Alex.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
And also,
Bye.
oh, he's gone. But I'm just going to say we'd like to thank you in advance for flying us over soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That doctor, by the way, oh, he's gone now. That doctor lived near Crawley in Peace Pottage in a little village. Okay, Charnavinda, thank you for joining us, Prabhu.
My
Hare
pleasure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I hope you enjoy the shlokas because we have to put some verses in to help you understand from. Oh, everyone's look, they're all running away now.
Oh, disappearing.
Bye bye, Smita.
Bye, Prabhu. Hare
See you,
Krishna.
see you Wednesday and Friday.
See you on Friday, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.